Are Norwich's playoffs dreams all over? We're going to find out from fellas that went to the Blackburn game and also represent all Norwich fans on this Terrace Talk podcast. Welcome, Liam. Welcome, Alfie. How are you?
Thank you. I'm good. How about you?
Yeah, all right. Thank you, Alfie. You all right?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you. How you doing, Mark?
All right. Yeah, not an easy trip. That is at Ewood Park. It's a horrible journey for anyone, but from Norwich to Blackburn. So credit to you both, first of all, for making the long trip. Liam, how was the game in your view?
Um, it was disappointing. I think any point away from home is always a good point, but I think that's looking at it from our perspective, that is massively 2 points dropped. It is a bit gutting, to be honest.
Yeah, and Alfie, this is a team like we mentioned before. Blackburn went to Carrow Road, if you remember, on the Sunday game and turned you over 3-0 quite comfortably. Actually, one of your worst performances. So in that regard, is a point okay against a team that are still finding the feet on a new manager and did turn you over?
Well, I mean, they have got a bit of a new manager bounce, but I still no excuse if you want to be getting playoffs. It's got to be 3 points away there. You can say it was an improvement from when we played them at home, but nothing could get worse than that. That was a very, very low point. That was one of the worst atmospheres I've been in at Carrow Road. It was toxic. It was horrible. But
Okay.
that was a bit of improvement away. But still, if we want to be picking up these points going to playoffs, teams like Hull, they won there. It's just 3 points you've got to be picking up, really.
Okay. All right. I'm going to ask you in this channel what people are talking about. So we're talking about Ashley Barnes first, if that's okay. I'm going to talk to you then about obviously the perennial question of the manager and when is the right time to get rid if not. And the big question I'm going to ask you is are Norwich's playoff dreams over? Starting with you then, Liam. So what is going on with Ashley Barnes for Norwich? I read a lot about him, and when you look on Twitter, Norwich Twitter, and follow the forums, he's the one player, apart from Rowe, for all good reasons, that comes up a lot and seems to have a lot of fans frustrated. What is going on with him?
I just think he's sometimes struggling to settle in with the football play, because obviously he's sort of a striker that likes to hold up the ball, whereas Wagner's tactics are to try and play out from the back. And I think sometimes he struggles to find himself in the game. However, once he has found himself into the game, he is unreal and he really shows that experience. So I think it's just sort of the setup of the game and how Wagner sets the team up that day.
Yeah, and Alpha, you've obviously travelled home and away this season watching him. Has he put in more good performances than he has bad?
I'd say it's about even, to be fair, but I'd say good performances are the ones that come from the bench, because obviously he's an older player, so his experience. So when he's on the bench, he's watching, he's seeing what defenders do. He comes on and makes an impact. But when he starts, by about minute 50, 60, he's just knackered out and doesn't look sharp at all. But then again, if you're playing him up there with Sargent, he does look like he's going to combine, he's going to put a ball over. He's got a great first touch, he's got great experience. And I think a lot of Norwich fans like is the fight he shows, because last season we lacked a lot of that. There was a lot of players that weren't putting in the fight and all that. So when you got someone that comes in, he puts in a challenge, he shoves someone about and all that. Like, some of it is stupid, but some of it does get the crowd going. And some you see it on Twitter after, like when Ashley Barnes pushed over that player in the box, that was quality from him today and all that. Like, people just like it, especially against like Ipswich. I remember first 10 minutes he just took out the goalkeeper and he was nowhere near the ball. Like, everyone was loving it. So he has brought that, which fans do like, but then again, that doesn't win you games, does it?
No, and I think, I mean, on our Blackburn fan this week has been talking about whether or not he should have. There should have been a few more yellow cards and even a red, perhaps he dished out for some Norwich tackles. Then did you think it was that kind of game, Liam, where the ref just maybe lost control a little bit?
No, not at all. I think the ref actually had quite a good game in some areas, I would say, but I think some of the decisions were a little bit shocking. But I think you're going to get that with every game, and I thought he did quite a decent job.
And then Liam's Saints was subbed off after the hour, and obviously has been lauded by lots of Norwich fans. This is perhaps being the player of the year for Johnny Rosen around. Why was he subbed? And was it injury tactics or just having a poor game?
I think Signs really struggled to get into the game actually on Saturday, and I think that was probably one of his poorest performances I've seen. He didn't we struggled to find him. and we just couldn't get the ball out to him. They marked him tight, and he struggled to get the ball forward. And didn't fight as much as what I've seen recently, and there was sort of not that quality. We lacked a lot of quality on Saturday. I think Signs lacked it a lot. However, I think the substitution that was made was impactful. I think O'Neill come on and showed, well, why we shouldn't have dropped it from Saturday. So I think it was a good substitution overall, though.
Okay. All right. Leaving Blackburn alone then and looking ahead to Sunderland. Alfie, what does he need to do against Sunderland that he didn't against Blackburn to get 3 points, your manager?
Well, first of all, I'm going to say don't change your winning side. If you obviously Fashionat came on and scored, but why would you change it from what you beat a team at home 4-1? You've had a really good performance. All the fans are buzzing. Great atmosphere. I don't see why you need to change it. Yeah, obviously did Fashionat. He come on last game. He did it right. He scored. But keep Hernandez on. Like no manager changes a winning side really, but unless you're Wagner, obviously. But yeah, no.
Is there, Liam? The reverse fixture. Sorry, Liam. The reverse fixture of this wasn't Norwich's best away performance, a 3-1 at the Stadium of Light. Are you hopeful for a better performance this time around? Sunderland aren't in great shapes.
No, they're not in great shape at all. I am hoping for the 3 points, obviously. He's got to make up for Saturday. Obviously, Sunderland was always a difficult place to go to anyway, for any side, isn't it? But I think in the reverse fixture, from going 1-0 up to then losing 3-1 was a real kick in the teeth. And at the time, that left us 17th, and now we're 7th, pushing for playoff. We've hit some form recently as well, so I do think when Sunderland are out of form, they're a team that you need to capitalise on the most, and I think that hopefully Saturday we will do that.
Okay. All right, let's ask the Wagner question then. Alfie, he's not going to get sacked now, is he, with 10, 11 games of the season left? But big question is, would you replace him in the summer? And if so, what type of manager do you want coming in?
I think we definitely should replace him in the summer because of the quality we've got. He hasn't took that out of some of our players, and I feel like with a better manager, it would be a lot better side. And I think a kind of young manager kind of route, because we keep getting, like, we had Dean Smith, we've had Wagner. I feel like we're going for the older, not scraps and such, but the ones that are left. You know what I mean? And it hasn't been working. Since then, we haven't gone up to the Premier League. So I'd go for a younger manager than us. I don't know if you've seen the links with Carlo Cuesta from Arsenal, because obviously we've got Ben Napper as our sporting director now, who was at Arsenal. So we've got a link there. Mikel Arteta did do an interview, and he did say about he heard that he was linked with Championship club. And I feel like that is what I want, really. Just a manager that's going to get us playing good football. He's going to come in with passion and all that. And I feel like we need to take that route. A younger manager. He is quite young, though, which could be a bit of a risk. Like, there's a lot of players that are older than him. But I'm all up for that.
Okay.
Especially as Arsenal's assistant manager.
Yeah. Liam, what's your view on it? Would you give him another season?
I'm not 100% sure. I'm not sold on it, but I don't think that he's done the most horrendous job. But I think there's always room for improvement. I think as you know, in the Championship, consistency is key, and we have failed to find that consistency this season. However, we're around the playoffs. We're there within a shout, and I think it's unfair to call it right now. I think we should see what happens at the end of the season. If we go up, then maybe, bring in someone that Wagner could coach or something, because I don't think he's a bad manager at all. I just think we need someone sort of to coach the team a bit more.
Okay. All right, then. Let's ask you the big question. So somebody posted on Twitter, I think, following Ipswich's results, that Norwich don't need to bother with the playoffs anymore because the playoffs have already got enough East Anglian representation for this year. Alfie, with the home games you've got coming up and the rest of the season, so Sunderland, Rotherham, Plymouth, then the big one, Ipswich, Bristol City. Apart from the Ipswich game, they should be 5 winnable home games. Agreed?
Yeah, I do agree, but you never know, do you, at the Championship? I feel like one of them is going to be a slip-up.
Okay.
Because every team does, but...
Yeah. And then, Liam, your away games. So Middlesbrough, who can't win at home. Stoke, who are the worst team in the Championship at the moment. Leicester, who might have already won it by then, you never know. Sheff Wednesday, Preston and Birmingham. So although you aren't great away from home yourself, by the time you play Preston and Birmingham, they might not be playing for anything. So is it wrong for some Norwich fans to say it's all over?
I would say so, yes, because I think the standard of the games that we've got coming up, we should be able to get enough points for, that we need. I think Hull have some games, Brighton got some big games to play. When you look at it, I think our run-in is probably the easiest out of them all. So I think there's no reason why we can't do it at all. And I think that it's a time to get behind the players, stick with them, and really go for it now. Okay.
All right, let's get some predictions from you both then. You'll be heading to Carrow Road to watch Norwich and Sunderland this weekend. Alfie, we'll start with you. What's the score going to be, mate?
2-1 Norwich, Sargent and Signs in goals.
Okay. And Liam?
I'm going to go for a rogue clean sheet and say 2-0.
No, you don't do clean sheets anymore.
Clean sheet.
I know, that's why I said rogue.
Well, Jack Clark's still injured, I think, so perhaps it will be. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for joining us. Hopefully, we'll catch you next week. Just while you're here, Ian. Just before you go, I just want to bring in a friend who of the show is our Ipswich Town fan. Liam, do you think Ipswich are going up this year?
No, not a chance.
Alfie?
Mathematics. Playoffs, it's a lottery, really, let's be honest. I feel like I'm going to say no because they haven't got the experience in their side to win the playoffs. It's either going to be Leeds or Southampton, so I'm going to say no, and I hope it is a no as well.
Okay. As far as the neutral goes, you all know that we're hoping that the playoff final is Norwich against Ipswich, because that is going to be some day out.
No.
And Ian, just while you're guest on the Norwich View, do you suspect that Norwich might be creeping into them playoffs?
Their form's brilliant the last few games, but they're very fickle fans. It wasn't so long ago that Wagner out, and now he's the Messiah. They're like Leeds with Fark. So I don't know. It's difficult. Preston do really well as well. There's a lot of teams fighting for that 6th position. Coventry losing on Saturday to Preston's going to certainly give a few smiles to the Norwich fans, I guess. But I don't know. It's I just wouldn't want to predict the top 2, let alone the top 6, to be honest.
All right. Thanks for coming on, Ian. And you two enjoy the game, and we'll hopefully catch you next week. Cheers, fellas.
Thank you very much, Mark. See you later.
Cheers. Thank you very much.